The New England Patriots season schedule is finally set. They're going to be hitting the road a lot in 2024, but are they ready for prime time? Stick around. You're about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful, and thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage and also your first listen each and every day. Remember, Locked On Patriots is not only a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, but we are also free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So smash that subscribe button, download and follow Locked On Patriots wherever you get your podcasts to ensure that you're getting the latest episode as soon as it's available. I'm your host, Mike Debate, and I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Country. So reach out to me and let me know what's on your mind on X at MDABATENFL. While you're out there showing some love to Locked On Patriots social media style, please follow our account there as well at LO_Patriots. And Pats fans, today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. And Pats fans, at long last, your New England Patriots are set for the 2024 season. Pat's schedule being released along with all 32 NFL teams on Wednesday evening. It has now been confirmed your New England Patriots playing 8 home games, 9 road games during the regular season. New England will open the year with a matchup on the road with the Cincinnati Bengals on September 8th before partaking in their home opener against the Seattle Seahawks on September 15th at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Here today to break down all of the ups and downs, the homestands, the road trips, even a journey to jolly old England is my good friend, the Count of Murphy Fisto himself, Thomas Murphy. Thank you for coming to me in friendship today, and thank you for helping me break down the 2024 Patriots season slate. Don Murph.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Asked back for a second time this week, and it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Oh, absolutely. It's
not
a miracle. It's not a miracle at all, folks. He's got his very own branded hashtag. He's got his very own embroidered director's chair here. Now, he's a fixture here on Locked On Patriots, and we love having him. But there's no one else I'd rather break down the schedule with than you. It's going to be an interesting year for your New England Patriots without any question. A new era in Foxborough, and with that new era will come great responsibility. Murph, when I look at this schedule for the New England Patriots, the first thing that hits me about this is 9 road trips and the potential for those road trips to be grueling. Are the Patriots going to be the ultimate road warriors this year?
They're going to have to be, man. They've been given no choice here. And luckily for you, me, and everybody out there in Patriots Nation, this defense is one of the stoutest in the NFL. They have 2 all-pro talents coming back this year that missed most or all of last season. And I think that's the way they're going to have to ride it, especially on the road.
Yeah, without any question. A lot of people might get poetic and say that the Patriots have miles to go before they get there. I didn't say I was going to say it. Yeah. Of course, I just did. But bottom line, I think a lot of people are looking at this schedule and saying the Patriots still have a ways to go before they're going to contend for a playoff spot, let alone be in the mix with the AFC's top teams once again. But they are going to be traveling great distances this year. There's no question about it.
They open up in Cincinnati against Joe Burrow, all healed up and ready to go. And then they have their home opener against the Seahawks, and then they hit the road again for that Thursday night matchup with the Jets. And then they have to go across country to face the 49ers. They didn't, no favors were done. No favors. If Robert thought that any favors were going to be done for him, now that Bill is gone, he was sorely mistaken.
Oh, absolutely agreed. No favors being done for the Patriots over at Park Avenue. And really, I don't think anyone ever expected that, but maybe some people did. Like you said, maybe with Bill out of the mix, people thought that maybe it could be a little more lenient. But no, I mean, Request denied, as Judge Chamberlain Haller would say when Mike Reese reported earlier this month that the New England Patriots were trying to petition to get the games in Arizona and San Francisco out on the West Coast at the same time so the
Right.
Patriots could stay. That did not happen. So the
No.
Patriots will be logging and getting some serious frequent flyer miles. Wanted to share with you a little tidbit from our good friend Bill Spiros, who's a great columnist from
Love Bill.
absolutely from the Boston Herald, and you
Yep.
know him and his alter ego on Twitter as the OBF, the obnoxious Boston fan. But Bill is one of the best in the business, and he recently did a breakdown of the travel miles that each team in the NFL is going to be logging. Your New England Patriots ranking 4th out of all 32 NFL teams when it comes to total travel miles. The Patriots are going to be playing 9 road games, 8 home games, but in those 9 road trips, they're expected to travel a total of 25,071 road trip miles this season, Murph, crossing 26 time zones.
And they're going to add another game, folks. Another game is coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, the commissioner has not just hinted at this. He said this is exactly the way he wants it. And what Roger wants, Roger gets. It's going to eventually happen that way, folks. So, yeah, be on the lookout for another game being added within the next couple of seasons here in the NFL. But bottom line, it doesn't really change what the Patriots have to do this year. New England playing back-to-back road games 3 times in 2024. You hit on this, Murph. Games with the Jets on September 19th, followed by a game with the San Francisco 49ers on September 29th. Then you get Tennessee on November 3rd, and then Chicago on November 10th.
Right.
Then you get Arizona on the 15th of December, followed by a road trip to Buffalo for the 22nd. So Patriots are going to be doing an awful lot of road traveling. And, in October, they have to travel to London as well.
Right.
So a lot of traveling going on for the New England
Just
Patriots.
throw that in there. You know, 2 road trips to California, going to London. I mean, in the past, the Pats have gotten a break, and even when there were 2 road trips out to California, they were kind of the games were close together. They could stay out there, practice out there. That's not happening this season.
Absolutely, and you know it is
surprised they didn't send us out to San Diego too. What the hell? Just put them out there.
Yeah, even though there's really no games happening in San Diego, but you know we'll just send them out there anyway.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Send Fredo out to Las Vegas.
Yeah, send Fredo to Las Vegas.
But in any case, road trips of this type, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday here when I discussed the London game and talked about how this is a good move for the New England Patriots to be able to go out and share that camaraderie. Now, at the time that I recorded that podcast, the schedule hadn't been confirmed yet, so we didn't know if the Patriots were getting a bye after that game. In general, when you're traveling to Europe, you're getting a bye after that trip. Patriots did get one last year after they made the trip to Germany, so you almost assumed that was going to happen. It didn't happen this time around. The Patriots come back, and not only do they come back, but they have to come back and face the Jets, who you know are going to be hungry for that game, especially with a healthy Aaron Rodgers. My question to you is, with all of these road trips going on, is this a good opportunity for the Patriots to bond and build some and forge some relationships, or is this just an arduous road journey, maybe a little too much for a very young team?
Sure, in the beginning, it can be a bonding experience. It can be a a get to know you. There's going to be a lot of new faces, a lot of young faces on this team this year, and yeah, that can happen. I've said it, with baseball many times. Starting out on a an 8 or a 10 game road trip to start a season can really bring a young group of ball players together, but it's going to get old. It's going to get old quick. We know when you're not sleeping in your own bed and you're not, for that amount of time, when you're not seeing your family, even on game day, things like it gets old. And this is going to be a long grind for these Patriots players this season and coaches.
And again, you're dealing with a young team. You're dealing with a team with a rookie head coach. You're dealing with a team with potentially a rookie quarterback. We'll get to that in just a moment as well. Does this schedule throw a wrench into those plans? Murph and I have some thoughts on that subject we'll share in just a moment. But bottom line, you are looking at a team that is trying to forge a new identity. And when you add added wrinkles such as an arduous, very grueling potentially grueling travel schedule, it can be a problem, and it does present those issues. So the New England Patriots can either come together and bond together. I happen to think that trip to London is going to be an opportunity for them to do just that. It's a different environment. You're going into a historic stadium like Wembley. You're going to be playing in front of fans that I know the Jaguars are the designated home team, but a lot of Patriots fans out in London, they're going to be
Right.
out in droves to see this game. That's an exciting opportunity. And trips like that, it's almost like a field trip.
Right.
When you were in high school, you always had those bonding moments that really kind of galvanized the team. I think that can be the opportunity for the Patriots to grow. But those back-to-back road trips in the months of September, November, and then December again,
Again in
are
December.
going to be very difficult. And you're talking about the holidays as well. I mean, these are human beings. We always put them on a pedestal and say, these are players. They have to play through everything. That's the game. That's the schedule. You have to play it. It affects everyone, folks. It really and truly does. It can have an adverse effect. So the schedule makers doing no favors for the Patriots trying to reinvent themselves after a dismal 4-13 finish in 2024. But the New England Patriots do have some big games on this schedule, some major tests, and some opportunities to prove that they might be eventually ready for prime time. Because obviously, Murph, they didn't prove that to the schedule makers already. Murph and I are going to talk about the biggest games on the New England Patriots 2024 season slate when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues, a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Listen up, Boston sports fans. You want to cheer on your favorite green team at the Garden. We all do. It's the playoffs. You want tickets, but you're not quite sure how to go about getting them. Well, have no fear. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of the NBA, which makes getting playoff tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. With last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. I'm thinking of going, and it's a lock that I'll be using Game Time to get there, because with their priority last-minute deals, you can save 60% off buying last minute for sports. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. So again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Patriots fans, thank you once again for joining us here today on Locked On Patriots and joining me to break down the 2024 schedule release for your New England Patriots. The legend himself here on Locked On Patriots, Thomas Murphy. Murph, in the previous segment, we talked a lot about the Patriots road trips and the opportunities, the pitfalls, everything that exists when it comes to playing that often on the road and the impact that it could have on a very young team in New England with a rookie head coach. But you and I both know that there are a lot of opportunities on this schedule as well for the New England Patriots to prove something not only to themselves, but maybe to the schedule makers, maybe to the league, maybe to the NFL universe. As I alluded to earlier, the Patriots have only one primetime matchup on this schedule right now. That's a Thursday night matchup, September 19th, 8:15 p.m., East Rutherford, New Jersey, against the New York Jets.
Yep.
That's it. How far the mighty have fallen. The New England Patriots were a primetime staple at one point. You couldn't turn on the TV each and every week without
we were
seeing
ticked
them
off. We had to
in
stay up
prime
till
time.
midnight to watch them.
Absolutely. A lot of late nights covering filing stories at 3 a.m. You're not going to have that a lot this year. Just one night, and you get it over with early in the season. It's great for the viewers. It's great for the media. I'm not going to lie. I was definitely happy to see all of those 1 p.m. games, but it also brings into stark comparison the Patriots presently to where the Patriots were in the past.
Right.
I know you see things us mere mortals don't see when you look at this schedule. We see problem. You're going to see potential. When you look at this Patriots schedule, is there a game or games that jump out at you that allow the Patriots to maybe prove the doubters wrong a little bit, keeping London aside for just a second, because I know we'll get back to that in just a moment, but
Right.
independent of London, what games are standing out on this schedule for you, Murph?
The without a doubt, the divisional matchups,
Mhm,
coming back from London, that only primetime game that we know of right now. You
mhm,
don't plan on things getting flexed into primetime, folks. Really don't.
yeah,
But that first game, if Discount Double Choke manages to make it to the third game of the season, doesn't blow out an Achilles tendon or something over there, and I think that Jets game, taking care of business at home against Miami early, that's going to be paramount. That's a week 5 matchup, October
mhm,
6th. Yeah, funny how the Dolphins never seem to come up here in December. And then, of course, the oh God, what was it? The Dolphins. We always have a really difficult time down there. That they go down to Miami week 12, and other than that, sending a message to the league and being able to come out on top somehow, some way against the 49ers on the West Coast, I think that game is really important too. The
absolutely.
Patriots need to reestablish themselves as a team, to be reckoned with. Right now, they are not. That's what happens when you come off a 4-13 season.
Mhm,
People are already checking the box. Yeah, we should beat the Patriots. Everybody on this schedule is saying to themselves, even the Houston Texans are saying, this is a game that we should win. All
mhm,
right, this is a game
yeah.
that there are countless um, webcasts and podcasts going on right now, today and this week, with their hosts going over the schedule, Patriots, and they're checking a win box. The Patriots have got to go in there with an eraser and remove those check marks.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that game, because to me, I think that is the ultimate opportunity for the Patriots to prove something this season.
Right,
You look at the big games on the schedule. You mentioned the divisional games. And obviously, divisional games are always going to be hotly contested.
right.
I don't care what anybody says. These teams know each other very well. So you can't pencil those in as guaranteed wins unless Tom Brady is facing the Bills. Then that was a guaranteed win. And really, I think the last, few years against the Jets, those were guaranteed wins as
Yeah,
well. But the times have changed, Murph. The
right.
Patriots don't have easy times with the AFC East anymore. And look, that goes the same way for the AFC East teams as well. They can't overlook the Patriots
No,
because of the fact that they know each other so well. So taking those out of the equation, because I think you adequately sum those up, and I could not have done a better job myself. You look at the other games on this schedule. Obviously,
right.
Cincinnati, the road opener, and then you got Seattle, the home opener. These are exciting matchups. The 49ers in San Francisco is going to be fun to watch. The Texans, we talked about the new look Texans and how that's going to look. That's going to be a fun one to watch. But what I'm looking at very closely is the 2 games around the bye week this year. Week 13 against the Indianapolis Colts
Okay,
and week 15 against the Arizona Cardinals. And on paper, these are not going to be blockbuster games, folks. I'm not expecting these games to be, games of the week or anything of that nature. There are talented players on both of these teams, Indy and Arizona. And the way these two teams have been built the last couple of years is incrementally trying to rebuild themselves into playoff contenders.
right.
Maybe they're a little bit further along on the rung right now than the New England Patriots are.
Yeah, they've had more
This is
practice.
absolutely, they have some. That's a good point. I love that. See, dynamite drop in, Monty.
Thank you.
But when it comes to the Colts, when it comes to the Cardinals, this is a good opportunity for the Patriots to see how truly far away they are from being able to leapfrog these teams
Right,
maybe in a year or two. Indy right now going into the bye week, if the Patriots come out strong and they go into the bye week on a win, that can show a lot. If they come out and take it to them and go into the bye week on a win, that says a lot to me. But what's going to say even more is what you alluded to earlier, how they look coming out of the bye.
right.
Did that break their rhythm? Did it break their spirit? Do they come out playing flat? Typically, coming off of a bye, the Patriots were always razor sharp under Bill Belichick, save for last year. But week 15 against the Cardinals, that's an opportunity for the Patriots to make a statement and say, you know what, we had a break. It was the latest break you could possibly give us. It didn't matter. We're
Right.
going into an opposing stadium and we're going to take it to a team that's trying to rebuild themselves into a playoff contender. And Arizona's got some talent on both sides of the ball, whether you talk about Kyler Murray or that new defense now that's got Mac Wilson in it. The Patriots would love to see him, no question about it. So those are the two matchups I'm going to be watching closely.
Those are great points, and I wholeheartedly agree. By that time in the season, we should have a fully functioning football team. Okay, everybody should definitely be on the same page. We're probably going to get into the Drake Maye thing in a second here or two. And health is paramount. Last year we saw the attrition the of what happened on the offensive line, what happened with the wide receiver group, just through injuries. A lot of this is going to come down to how healthy the Patriots are when they face these teams and how healthy their opponents are going to be at the end of the year.
Absolutely. And that's such a great point. And health is the great equalizer, folks, when it comes to all of these matchups. I mean, the New England Patriots could very easily find themselves facing a team that not necessarily operating at full strength. Can they take advantage of that? The converse is true as well. The Patriots may not be operating at full strength. Will that make them an even easier target for some of these teams that feel they're facing the Pats in a must-win game, in a guaranteed win game? Really hard to be on the opposite end of that spectrum. But you know what? The Patriots are out to prove that they're no pushover. I think they'll do that this year, and they're going to have to if they want to increase their opportunity to contend sooner rather than later. Murph, before we take our leave of the biggest game, I know on the side of the screen, folks, for the benefit of those of you listening, our screen says today, biggest game besides London. London is probably the marquee matchup that's on the Patriots schedule this year. I know you haven't had a chance to weigh in on it. Your thoughts on this game and what it means for the Pats?
No, I think it's a huge game for the Patriots. Normally Mike touched on it earlier, that you end up getting the bye week after your trip overseas, and that's always been a huge help. It's always been something that the NFL has done for not just the Patriots, but everybody going overseas. It's a lot to ask of somebody. So you never know. We might see Mac Jones in London.
That's a possibility. I did mention that yesterday. Stranger things have happened, folks. Who knows? Maybe by that time, Drake Maye may have showed something to the Patriots decision makers, and he may be going head on head with either Trevor Lawrence or, can you imagine the week leading up to it if it's going to be Drake Maye versus Mac Jones? That could be really, really fun to cover if you're a New England Patriots media member, and if you're a fan. Yeah, that could be a lot of fun that week leading up to it. Social media will be a buzz. Speaking of Drake Maye, folks, the New England Patriots may have plans to put their new number 3 overall draft pick in the lineup sooner rather than later. But does the late bye week this year throw a wrench into those plans? Murph and I are going to talk about debuts galore when it comes to this new era in New England and the 2024 NFL schedule when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast wraps up right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Listen up, Boston sports fans. It's winner take all time in the NBA and the NHL. And FanDuel's giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. At the Garden, your favorite green team NBA playoff action. Do you have enough confidence in your fandom to make it work for you? Well, if you're going to do so, do it with FanDuel, because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and so much more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Patriots fans, thank you once again for joining us here today on Locked On Patriots, and we are breaking down the newly released 2024 NFL schedule for your New England Patriots. And here today to break it all down with me is my good friend, the legend himself, Thomas Murphy. Murph, we've been talking a lot about the Patriots schedule, the road games, the biggest games, the London game. But we all know that the games on paper are fun to speculate, but the impact they have on the players on the field is really where these games are won or lost. And the Patriots have themselves a new franchise quarterback, or at least we believe that the Patriots have a new franchise quarterback in the number 3 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, Drake Maye. We got a chance to see a little bit of Drake's performance last Saturday during rookie minicamp. He was there for 3 days, got a chance to see the field on 2 of those days, and big piece of feedback that we got from Gerard Mayo is that he still needs a lot of work. So you're getting the impression that Drake is someone that is impressing with his talent, his potential, but
Yep.
his fundamentals are still not there when it comes to being a starting quarterback in this league. Not a shock. I think a lot of people understood that was going to be the case coming in, but you're going to start to see that anxiety level of Patriots fans kind of reach a fever pitch. Now, the Patriots are heading over to London on October 20th.
That's it.
They don't get their bye week until week 14.
Right.
A lot of people were thinking that the schedule makers were going to build in a nice transition period where if Jacoby Brissett started the season, he'd be able to hand the keys of the kingdom over to Drake Maye during that bye week. But at week 14, that presents as much problem as it does promise. Murph, when you look at this and you look at the potential debut of Drake Maye, does the schedule, the way it fell, make it more likely that we'll see him this year or less likely?
Wow, that's a tough question. I thought, for sure we were going to see him this year anyway. All right. So I can't go with the more or less likely because we knew
Fair
we
point.
were going to see him this
Right.
season. They weren't going to sit him down for the whole year, no matter what anybody says. I still believe, and I might be answering Mike's next question before he asks it. I still believe that it's going to be at home against the Jets after the London game. Yeah, I do believe that it is going to end up being that week. It pushes it back. I think it could have been earlier if the bye week was earlier.
Right.
But I don't think it's going to push him out and we're going to wait until week 13 and then let him face the Bills twice in his first 4 games.
Very good point. You look at the way the schedule was laid out, and you
Right.
said it perfectly. You're not going to want to throw Drake into the wolves right off the bat.
Let him go face the teams that are also rebuilding. Okay, not
Right.
that the Jets are rebuilding, but after that they have Tennessee and Chicago,
Right.
and by that time they'll get the scouting department will have a good idea of what they're doing out there, how they're going to have to attack them offensively and defensively. Drake should be deep enough into this Patriots playbook, this minuscule Patriots playbook. It's not the Encyclopedia Britannica anymore. And have a good handle on things and let him ease himself into it. And God knows, I mean, um, I think that's the soft landing spot is after London. I don't think they'll debut him in London, but the week afterwards, I think that's what we're looking at. Week 7.
Look, the London trip has enough hype and enough publicity on it as it is. I don't think it's necessarily the opportunity the Patriots are going to take to debut Drake Maye. Now, if he's already entrenched as the starter, if he comes out of training camp
Right.
as the best player and he's right off the bat, then yeah, he's going to get the start in that game. Last and certainly not least, the Patriots' new rookie head coach is definitely going to be making his debut. That is not up in the air, folks. That is not speculation. That is dead certain. On September 8th against the Cincinnati Bengals, that will be his head coaching debut at any level. And then the Patriots come back home the following week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Murph, is there any circumstance where you can see the Patriots taking one of these games in one of Mayo's debuts? Can they take them both? Or are they looking at an 0-2 start here?
No, I think absolutely they can get off to a good start and take one from the Bengals. I really do. The Bengals start off slowly, it seems, year after year with with uh with Joe Burrow under center, and I think they could go in there and steal one. And then in game 2, when they're playing the Seahawks, it's the home opener. Everybody's going to be on a high. Everybody's going to be looking forward to it. I do believe that they could end up 2-0 after the first 2 games of the season. I think the first real test is going to be down at the Jets that Thursday night if Aaron Rodgers is still standing upright.
Well, obviously, I mean, at this point, when you look at the Jets, I mean, they definitely want a healthy Aaron Rodgers, and that's what they signed up for when they traded
Right.
for him. So they're looking at him being healthy. Now, obviously, health is always the great equalizer, folks. We'll see what the Jets and what all teams look like at every point in the season. I'm glad you made the point about the Cincinnati Bengals. I think a lot of people are looking at this and saying Joe Burrow's back, he's healthy. Yeah, that's a guaranteed loss for New England on the road. The way the Patriots have been able to play Burrow in the past and
Yep.
try to keep him contained is not all of a sudden a blueprint that Gerard Mayo is going to throw in the garbage because it's a new era.
Right.
He understands the genius of a Bill Belichick defense.
He knows
He
what
played
works.
in it and he coached it. And that's the type of style you're going to see. All of the Patriots defensive players that we've spoken to in the media so far have all said not much is changing on the defensive side of the ball. We're enhancing, we're getting better, but
Right.
it's not a situation where we're going into this and saying it's a completely new ball game.
No, I
They
think you're
know
going to
this
see.
defense worked
I
well.
think you're going to see a more aggressive style of defense.
Hmm.
With all those, a lot of the pressure rates that you saw out of the Patriots over the past few years. They've always been top of the league. I
Hmm.
think you're going to see a lot more guys getting to the quarterback this year than you have in the past. I think Gerard is really going to let the dogs out and let them go eat. So going after Burrow is not always the best way. The crush and contain has worked in the past, and I think that's what they're going to do. But yeah, I do think this defense is going to be much more aggressive this season as it progresses. But going in there to Cincinnati and stealing the first game of the year, I think that's a distinct possibility.
I'm not going to mince words about this. With all due respect to the preseason, you're New England Patriots. We're on a Cincinnati, Murph. That's what
Yep.
we're doing. We are looking at the Bengals in the week one opening game in the Queen City, and that is going to be a fun one to watch. And who knows, maybe Gerard Mayo will be coming back home looking for his home debut with a
Right.
1-0 record. It could happen, folks.
And
Patriots.
that could turn to 2-0 with the Seattle team. I think they could definitely come home on a high after winning
Yeah.
that first game and take number 2. Like I said, the big test, the big early test is going down there to East Rutherford
Yeah.
in week 3 and getting that Thursday night win.
Yeah, absolutely. Can the Patriots' new wide receiver core match up against that stifling Jets secondary? That's
Right.
going to be tough. And they've loaded up that front seven, too. The Jets are loaded on both sides of the
Right.
ball this year. Those games are not going to be easy. So a tough start for the Pats, a tough road ahead. But you know what? Bottom line, folks, that's why they play the games and they don't assign championships on paper. Anything
No.
and everything can happen in the NFL. And what are your thoughts on the Patriots schedule? What are the must wins? What are the biggest games on the season for you? Drop a note in the comments section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And you know what? If the comments are juicy enough, we may even do a complete show on them.
Yep. Hashtag a mailbag Monday down there if you got a question or if you got a comment that you want us to expand on.
Oh,
And we'll get
absolutely.
to it on Monday.
The mailbag is going to be brimming with schedule
Right.
questions. There's no question about it, folks. Keep them coming in because Murph and I will be back here on Monday to answer all of your questions. But we are not done yet this weekend, folks. Definitely stay locked into Locked On Patriots for more expert analysis, not just on the Patriots schedule, but also on the Patriots rookies. Yeah, more Locked On experts coming your way. So download, subscribe to follow. You will not want to miss a single
This
second
has been
of
a
that
good
action.
series.
Thank you.
I've really loved it, man. I've really loved it.
Thank you. Absolutely. We truly have some of the greatest local experts you'll find
Yep.
anywhere in sports media right here on the Locked On Network. And we're only scratching the surface. You ain't seen nothing yet, folks. A lot still to come. And thank you for the kind words, my friend, because when it comes to Locked On Familia and when it comes to knowledgeable guests, you sit at the top of that throne for a reason, my friend.
Oh, come
And
on.
that's why we give you your very own branded hashtag and your very own embroidered chair, folks.
Hey, man, I'm
These-
always here for a sit down with you, Mike.
But what can I say? Thank you so much for helping me break down the schedule today. Before I let you go, please let everyone know what you got cooking in Murph's Kitchen between now and Monday when you return to your rightful spot here on Locked On Patriots.
I got a couple of Red Sox pieces in the hopper. You can read them over at diehardbostonsportsfans.com. You can follow me on Zitter at tmurph207 and see, whatever else tickles my fancy. If you can't wait till Monday, ask me the questions over there and I'll get to them Monday.
Absolutely, folks. And definitely keep them coming in all
Right.
weekend long. You don't have to
Yep.
wait until Sunday night.
No.
Hashtag those questions. Just put Mailbag Monday. Tag Murph, tag myself, tag the Locked On Patriots account, or keep sending them in via email. You guys have been flooding the
Yeah.
email box, and we absolutely love it. LockedOnPatriots@gmail.com. And in the meantime, folks, I am Mike Debate, and on behalf of my good friend, the Count of Murphy Fisto himself, the legendary Thomas Murphy, I encourage you all to stay safe and to stay well and to be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow on Locked On Patriots.